I'm back, my friends. How are ya? Look at what I have on the bench. For those that haven't seen the last video, the release of Heavy Duty Overkill was done in Drumheller with my RCSparks mechanics team, David Jr., David Sr., and of course Grandpa Marvin. That was quite an experience. I finally have Project Heavy Duty Overkill back in the studio with me, and I gotta say, it is just simply a magnanimous beast. 6-wheel drive, 6 tracks. These are RC 4-wheel drive Predator tracks with the upgraded Sandblaster tracks, and of course the whole steering contraption. We've got Jun Fac. Here, you look at this. I know you guys want to see it. Here are Jun Fac Shocks. I ordered them from the junfac.com site. These are actually real piggyback or coilover shocks that have a PSI adjustment screw under here, so you can really control how much fluid's back and forth with the articulation. Okay, so I wrap those all the way around. Vanquish axles and Vanquish internals. Vanquish Products is where I got those from. This whole axle, everything is cast aluminum, hey? Really, really cool. This is the RC 4-wheel drive steering kit for these particular tracks because you need to have a longer throw on the steering horn. I don't want to tip this, and I'll get to that in a minute. I've got to adjust these. I'm thinking I'm going to move these shock towers. Again, these shock towers are Vanquish. I'm probably going to move them back a little bit because we have a bit of an extreme driveline angle there. It works awesome. DJ did an amazing job with what he had, but we do have room to move it back just a little bit and kind of straighten out that area. I love this truck though. They extended the frame, made a solid weld on the inside of this ladder chassis, making the extension just one solid piece, so it's going to be really strong. Saavik Servos on the inside. Finally, I got my new Saavik Servos in. I got these, hold on, I'm just looking for the torque, 499 ounces, 499 ounces, I believe at 6 volts. Definitely for all steering. So I got 1, 2, and 3 for the front. You can see they look pretty neat though, hey? They're very chattery for digital servos. Digital servos are chatty to begin with. This is actually Velcroed. It's not, this is the speaker for the sound kit. It's not sticking to this aluminum plate, of course. Inside, I've got those Roc 412 brushless motors from Tekin. I always use Tekin products. These are the new 2300 kV brushless trail crawling motors. They're not waterproof. That's why DJ put up this great splash guard, just a piece of plastic over here. Got two, well, what is it? 2 transmissions, both Vanquish housing. You can't see it. You can. The red transmission. There are aluminum housings in there. 1, 2, 3, 4 RS Pro ESCs. Totally overkill. That's the whole point of the project, just to do something ludicrous and fun. Inside, I'll just move on here. He did an amazing job with mounting these up, obviously with the 4 motors here. Just giving everybody lots of the chances to see what's there. RC 4-wheel drive Punisher shafts, except for the back. I believe that's an MIP that I ended up going with. Several BECs in here because there's several areas that we had to regulate with different power. Castle Creations Pro BEC is in there. I believe that's a 25 amp. We also got a 10 amp in here. Check out this. I know everyone's looking at this amazing plow on the front. This was Grandpa Marvin. Hey? Everything up front here, it's controlled by a normal 3 racing winch. 3 racing is like the number 3 and then the word racing. 2 RC 4-wheel drive blocks on the front. Snatch blocks to help lift the power, right? So this remote or this actual 3 racing winch, of course, is activated by the remote. We used an 8-channel remote. I definitely needed all channels. We almost didn't have enough. A sound kit on the front for a TurboCat diesel. HarborModels.com, I think I got those at. Same with the smoker. Now the smoker I'm having a little bit of problems with. We need some tweaking on this. With any prototype, you always need some tweaking, right? So today I was just kind of casually working on the smoke system. And there's a port right at the very top. I'll show you. It's an oil base that goes, it's oil that goes into this. There's a heating element in there. It's a special type of oil, and it pours out white smoke. Very toxic though, and stinks, believe me. But you can see the port here is about 3/4 of an inch. Now the boys, all they had on hand in Drumheller there, which is not a city at all, it's a town, I believe. You know, they had some 1/4 inch piping with a 3/4 inch outlet on the end. So what was happening is this was sticking in the top of the smoker, and these, of course, wrapping underneath to the smokestacks. If you haven't seen it, we actually had these, of course, working apart from the ESC fire I had on the snowblower, which was totally perfect for the show anyway. These steel or aluminum stacks I got from my friend Gregory Marsh, who sent them up, including this amazing body, you know, for OVERKiLL. Look at this, a nice aluminum grill on the front. Very, very nice. From my friend Charlie Crankbait, I ordered up some of these top lights that are actually blinking lights. So these are really, really, really neat. And of course the Mad Dog LED light on the front. Super, super duper bright. So it was really a neat thing to see all this put together, but I digress. The smoker on the bottom. So this was actually, you know, being hidden, and of course, can you even see that? Yeah, you can. You know, it just kind of fits on the inside with the coupling, right? So the whole smoker's on the inside of the cab. But the problem is that this little tiny 1/4 inch piping is not good enough to move the amount of smoke that the fan has inside there. So I was working on prototypes. I was having a look at it. Here we go. I moved to a bigger piping, right? The only problem with this is that it was so big, it can't fit inside the cab properly without kinking it. And of course, as soon as you bend the hose, there's no point in upgrading this whole system. So I've decided out the window with that. I've moved on to a whole different idea of a brass tubing system, right? So here you can see I've bought 3/4 inch plastic piping on the end. I've also bought the proper brass fittings. I could use the ring clamps here, or O-clamps, or whatever everybody calls them out in different parts of the world. And I'm gonna basically go ahead and on the front of this, I could take the plow off, but I know you guys really wanted to see it. Check it. I know, sorry, I'm totally all over the place. I'm just excited about this whole build, so it's hard just to talk about one thing. Okay, so here we go with the brass piping on top. You can see I've just kind of fit it this way, where now I'm gonna have a piece on either side come down, and then I'll have it wrap underneath. So this still will fit underneath that cab part, right? So here we go on this side. How much does all of this weigh? I can hear you guys in the background. How much does it weigh? Basically it weighs, with all the batteries on it, probably close to 20 pounds. I'm gonna get a scale and check it out, but it's a beast. Yeah, that's gonna fit. Takes a bit of finagling to get it on there, but you guys are getting the general idea. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep working and doing my stuff, and you'll get an update. It's kind of hard to film tedious stuff like this and make it interesting, so I'd rather just do an update. So hopefully, for those that do like this project and are following along and think it's kind of neat, hopefully that's a great update for you. I know it's been a couple of days and you guys are all excited to see me running, and it almost snowed today. A little bit of snow fell. I'm like, yes, please, snow, snow. And then the sun came out and it melted it all away. And then I thought, that's a good opportunity for me to start tinkering with the truck, learning about it. I know it looks like a complete spaghetti tangle of cords and cables in there. There's just a lot of actual length of cables, so everything is linked together, and I'm finally learning, now that I have it in the studio, which sections are what. Like, I'm starting to be able to identify where everything goes, and then what I'll do is use some sort of piping like this, or doweling, right, so I can get in there and, for what I can do, kind of tidy it up a little bit. But you know what? Double thumbs up for that team, man. They did a great job. Really what I envisioned as we're starting to order things and bring things in, they just knocked it out of the park. So a special thank you to David Jr., David Sr., and Grandpa Marvin, part of the RCSparks studio mechanic team. Big high five to you guys. And I know all the RC Adventure viewers are actually very thrilled. So thanks a lot, guys. I'll see you in the very next RC adventure. If you like what you see and you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead. It's free. Buttons down below or wherever they're putting it in YouTube these days. Leave a comment and I'll do my best to get back to you. Thanks a lot. See you next time.